Snow, new Disney film that hit theater 2 weeks ago. I finally got a chance to watch it. And here is my review of Disney Snow White. As I said, this is the live action adaptation of the classic 1937 original film. This film is directed by Mark Webb, who comes off of directing 2017's Gifted, as well as both amazing Spider-Man movies. The movie stars Rachel Zegler in a titular role as Snow White, who in this version is the princess. And when her father goes missing, she stays behind as the new evil queen, who's played by Gal Gadot, is running the kingdom, getting rid of all hope and fairness. And one day, Snow White runs away from the kingdom, meets the seven dwarves and the seven bandits, which includes Jonathan, played by Andrew Burnap, as they try to reclaim the throne and make the kingdom fair, happy, and hopeful. The film is an hour and 49 minutes and is PG. Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new review here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Sandberg. We're talking Snow White. So if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, guys. We're inches closer to 300 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to notify when new videos come out. I do movie and TV show reviews, added theater reactions, box office breakdown shows, movie rankings. Subscribe, ring the bell. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on Disney's Snow White? Is this better or worse than the actual original version? Do you have any fondness for the original Snow White? Should Disney stop making live action adaptations? Let me know in the comment section. Also, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. So I was not very excited for this movie whatsoever. The trailers, the behind the scenes of it, could not get me less excited for this movie. I'm also someone who is very mixed on the Disney live action films. Like I really like films like Cinderella, Jungle Book, Aladdin, for example. I think films that work. I don't really like most of the Disney live action adaptations. So that was kind of my expectation. And I will say, this is not an all-time worst movie. It's not even probably a bottom 5 Disney live action adaptation, but that does not make this a good movie. And for me, this is definitely a rough watch. I will say this. There's a lot of people who are just going to crap on the movie due to however you think about, especially both actresses, the leading actresses, personally, what they stand for in their life, and they're going to bash the movie, if not even looking at seeing the movie. I am judging the movie off the movie going into that. I am not going to be one of those people who's crapping on it just to crap on it. As a critic, I take it very seriously to go out, see these movies, and review it for you guys. I will say, whatever way you stand on both actresses, I will say, first of all, Rachel Zegler, who plays Snow White, is fantastic in the movie. And for me, she is the only thing that makes this movie at times watchable. She's really good in the movie. I don't think that she's as good as she was in West Side Story, but I do think she's very, very good in the movie. She, for me, easily is a likable, in acting wise, very likable leading actress. She's extremely talented. She's very believable in both the dramatic and, hopeful scenes in the movie, but also, obviously, she has an amazing voice. And she is a very good singer, obviously. And I think she's very good in the movie and well cast as Snow White from a, acting perspective. She's very good in the movie. Even though I agree with some of her stuff outside of movies, what she says, it's become very obnoxious in my opinion. But I still want to see her in tons of movies and shows, and I think she's an excellent actress and one to watch. I still think for years to come. Also in the movie, they have there's a couple new songs. I actually enjoyed the new songs, and the actual music element of the movie I enjoyed. Now, to preface, I am not someone who rewatches Snow White, the 1937 one, on a religious basis. It's not a movie that I think is all-time best Disney. But I've seen the movie a couple times. I know the beats of a Snow White movie. So that it's not something I was going to be offended on if they went a different direction or say the direction. But I said the new songs are good. I think Rachel Zegler is very good in the movie. Mark Webb does a good enough job directing the movie, especially the scene where Snow White runs, getting away from the kingdom was shot very well. But this is definitely a rough watch, in my opinion. And I'll go through the problems. The first problem is Gal Gadot, who is someone who I thought was perfect as Wonder Woman, did a great job in those movies, but for me has just, in my opinion, has not proven outside of the Wonder Woman character that she's a very talented actress. And I think that this honestly could be her worst performance. She's not good in the movie. Both she has a new song that I thought was pretty bad, and I thought the performance, she was struggling. It felt like, I don't know if this was a writing perspective, but I think it's mostly the performance. Usually when you get these villainous Disney iconic roles, you want to kind of salivate in the evilness of the character. Yes, you want to be threatening, but you also want to be devilishly over the top. And I thought Godot just went for a lot more serious villain stuff than actually being this entertaining, over the top villain I think this movie needed. Someone who's sulking in the fact that she's running a kingdom. And not just was she not villainous, but she wasn't entertaining. And when you want a main character to overcome something, or someone obviously, and getting her out of the kingdom, you want to feel good. But at the end of the movie, you just kind of feel like nothing happens because, I'm sorry, you just don't care about the evil queen character in the movie. And a big part of that is Gal Gadot's performance. Now, another problem that I knew was probably going to happen was when they revealed years ago that they were doing the seven dwarfs in CGI form, not actual casting seven little people, but doing seven CGI dwarves. And the pictures, the trailers did help. They are very distracting to me. Now, when they first came on screen, the song was well sung. It was fine. Then they add a new addition that not just are there's the seven dwarves, but there's the seven bandits, and that's where Jonathan comes in. Instead of Jonathan being a prince and all of that, he's just a part of the seven bandits who meets up with the evil queen. And I thought it was a very strange choice that in the seven bandits, they actually casted, which I'm happy about. They actually casted a little person in one of the roles in the seven bandits. But when you're doing that, and then you're seeing an actual little person on screen as seven CGI dwarves, I have to be honest, it took me out of the movie. It was completely distracting, and it made no sense. Like, if you're actually going to spend the time to cast someone like that, why not just cast the whole seven dwarves like that? But to have a mixture of real life and CGI dwarves, I thought was a massive mistake. And every time they were on screen, and honestly, was off-putting to me in a lot of ways. The actual CGI on the dwarves is very much Polar Express level, which is, I think, creepy than cute. I thought that didn't work. From a story perspective, outside of the casting and stuff like that, the movie at times is a shot-for-shot remake, but also it's adding a lot of new stuff. Which, as I said, it's Snow White who's the princess. And I think the whole big part of the first movie, the climax of the first movie, is the poison apple and that scene between Snow White and Jonathan. But here, it just feels like a minor, like the least consequential bump on the road to get to the ultimate climax of the movie. So I think the movie was very frustrated because at times it's a shot-for-shot remake trying to do very similar things to the original movie. At the same time, it's trying to do some new ways of telling the story in today's time. Because as I said, the original came out over 80 years ago. So obviously needed to update the story to make it more enjoyable for today's time, which I totally understand. But I thought the movie it felt like they had to do stuff from the original film, and that stuff actually felt forced into the movie. I would have liked a just more cleaner version where the movie either commits one way to either being a mostly shot-for-shot remake or trying to tell a different story, mixing in the original stuff from Snow White. But at times when they're trying to mix in new stuff and old stuff, it feels like they had to sign a contract. We have to do the poison apple. We have to do the Seven Dwarfs song instead of it actually fitting into the actual movie. So that was pretty frustrating. This is overall a pretty frustrating watch. I don't think it's an awful movie. There's worse Disney live action adaptations, including ones they've done in the last 5 years, but that does not make this a good movie and one I will probably ever rewatch. So overall, I'm going to give Disney Snow White a 2 out of 5 stars, a 37%. What are your thoughts on Snow White? Let me know in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.